For Celtic fans, for Rangers fans, it is the best time of the year. And for me as a YouTuber, it's also the best time of the year because, well, as previous track records show, the Old Firm seems to get quite a number of views on my channel, so let's just put that on the side of things. But as you know, it is this Sunday, the 12th of March, is the third League Old Firm derby of the season, as Celtic get ready to take on Rangers at Celtic Park for the second time this season after that 5-1 demolition earlier in the season back in September. So Celtic looking to do the same, but as we know, the Old Firm derby full of controversy, full of passion, and just a great game in world football that if you've not experienced it yet, either by watching it on TV or being there in person, I recommend you do so once in your lifetime. But today, I'm here to count down my 5 favourite Old Firm matches in my lifetime. So there's going to be some matches that are going to be left out, like that 7-1 match at Hampden, which is massive on the Celtic family, a big win, one of the most talked about games between any Celtic fan. For example, that would be there. But these 5 matches have happened in my lifetime, and in my opinion are the 5 best, and in my mind the 5 most memorable Old Firms since the year 2000. I'm going to count them down. It's coming from a Celtic fan's perspective, by the way, so if you're a Rangers fan, it's 5 Celtic victories. So there probably will be better Old Firm derbies, but it's not good unless we win. So here we go, we're going to count down my top 5 Old Firm derbies, starting from number 5. So coming in at number 5 for me then, it is the 3-2 victory Celtic got over Rangers in April 2008. And this game sticks in my mind quite a bit. I don't know why, but I just remember it very, very well. And I loved it because it was a great win, and it was a massive win on our run to the title that season. So Rangers took a 2-1 lead in that game. It looked like it was pretty dull for Celtic. We're doing pretty bad. Things were not looking good. Scott McDonald scored 2 goals that day though, and we went up to 2-2, which was fantastic. Things were going very well, but then penalty was awarded, and up steps the ginger legend himself, Barry Robson, who stepped up to take the penalty against, I believe, Alan McGregor or Neil Alexander. I think it was actually Neil Alexander that day, and he took the penalty. It goes in the back of the net in the 70th minute, and it's 3-2 up to Celtic. And what a game it was, what a result, and it was very crucial on the way to winning the title that season. But the most memorable part for me is, I'm sure it's this game. If it's not this game, then please don't go off your head about it. But I remember Artur Boric at the end of the game ripping off his goalkeeper's top, and underneath he had a shirt saying "God bless the Pope." It's one of those moments, you know, it stirs up the Rangers fans. It's brilliant, and you might not enjoy the controversy to that extent so much, but when it winds them up, it's brilliant. And it's vice versa probably for the Rangers fans, but it was brilliant when he had the shirt saying "God bless the Pope." Rangers fans were angry, and it was a very crucial game in that split to go on and win the title. At number 4 it is, and if you class them as a new club, it is the last Old Firm against the old Rangers. Personally, I don't give a toss about the new club, old club thing, but if it concerns you, then you'll know this game very well. This was the last time in what was a 4-year break of the Old Firm we played them in the league. It was a 3-0 victory to Celtic, but the drama surrounding that day, the madness that was going through Celtic and Rangers fans' mind going into that day, knowing that it was most likely the last Old Firm in quite a while, knowing that Rangers were going to go into the state they did with administration and liquidation. It was unbelievable. Celtic went on to win the title quite easily that season because Rangers got a 10-point deduction, but just that feeling and that atmosphere going into the game, knowing that was it, that could have been the last time we ever played Rangers, because for all we knew, the club could have died. Rangers could have genuinely died. So, you know, the banners were out from the Green Brigade, the fans were singing, it was a party, jelly and ice cream. Remember the chant that rung around the stadium that day as we played Rangers? A big 3-0 victory, some great goals, and it was just very, very mad going into that game, knowing that it could have been the last time we actually played Rangers. Obviously Rangers went on to go down to League 2 and they came back, and we've played them since in the league, but it was a very memorable day with 3 great goals and a great win for Rangers? Okay, for Celtic. Number 3, and it is another match from April 2008, and no, it's not a cup game, it's another league game. This match was actually contested 2 weeks before the match that I had at number 5. It's crazy to think that Celtic and Rangers played each other twice at Celtic Park within 2 weeks in the league. It's something that you don't really hear about, but it happened. So obviously we spoke about a moment ago that massive 3-2 win that we got at Celtic Park that day at number 5, but this match had even more to it. Another crucial match going into that campaign for the title. It was neck and neck between Celtic and Rangers, and this was one of the main factors, the icebreaker that took us to win the league title that season. We were contesting Rangers at Celtic Park just before the split occurred, the match before the split, and it was vital that Celtic had the momentum going into the split, and they sure did, with a fiery start as Shinsuke Nakamura scored. And in my opinion, the best goal I've ever seen from a Celtic player in my lifetime that I can remember. Nakamura scoring an absolute world beater of a goal to put us up 1-0. Rangers then did equalise through a Nacho Novo goal, but then things started to heat up as Celtic actually missed a penalty in the second half. It was saved by an injured Alan McGregor. Scott McDonald missed it. At this point the game was looking bleak as the minutes dragged on, and it looked as though the points had fell away and the league title, you know, could have been slipping away out of Celtic's hands. In the very last minute of the game, or just very close to the last minute anyway, a ball was swung over for none other than big Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink. Yes, I know his name's a mouthful if you've never heard of him, if you're a bit young to remember him. Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink nods it in the back of the net the 90th minute, and Celtic take the win. Purely for that 90th minute goal, it is at number 3. It was fantastic, and even after that some controversy arose again as the brawls started between the players in the park as the game finished and as they started to exit the field. I remember fights going down between Gary Caldwell and David Weir, and everybody in the park was having a go at each other, and it was just a very dramatic, a very crucial game, and Jan Vennegoor Hesselink, truly one of the heroes to go on to get that league title in 2008. At number 2, you'll remember this very, very well. September 2016, the picture is that Rangers are playing Celtic for the first time in the Premiership since they got liquidated, since 4 years before. It's the first time they played each other in the league. It was the first time Brendan Rodgers had taken part in an Old Firm, and you know, Celtic were out to get revenge for a loss earlier in the year against Rangers in the Scottish Cup semi-final. It was very dramatic, tensions were high going into it and nerves were ringing around. With Lee Griffiths being injured, no one had really got to see a lot of Moussa Dembele, but he stepped up to the plate, as you know. He stepped in, he got 3 goals, the Hun Scalper as we call him. He got 3 goals, getting a hat-trick on Old Firm Day. We then went on to score another 2, and it was a 5-1 victory. It was sweet, sweet revenge for that loss in the semi-final months before, and it couldn't have gone any better for Celtic. It was a fantastic game. The drama was high, especially for the fact going into half-time. It was still a very, very close game. It was my first ever Old Firm, so it's got a really special place in my heart. It was a fantastic game. The memories just flood my mind thinking back to it, and that's why I cannot wait for this match on Sunday. Can we see a repeat of that 5-1? That is the question. But it was a truly memorable game where Celtic really stated what they were aiming to do this season, which has led us to so far an invincible season dominating Scottish football. Which leads us on to number 1, and it couldn't be anything else other than the 6-2, what is labelled as the Demolition Derby of August 2000. Right, I know, I was only 5 months old at the time, right, which is why it's kind of cheating the system of it being my 5 favourite and 5 most memorable matches, because I don't remember anything from it. But of a match of this calibre that did happen in my lifetime, it cannot be left out from that number 1 spot. It was a fantastic game. Even looking back in the highlights, I just wish I was at least some form of age to appreciate that and not still in my nappies. But it was a fantastic match by the looks of things. Who can forget the Henrik Larsson goal, that chip goal over the Rangers goalkeeper that day? That was one of the top talking points of that game. Martin O'Neill, he was taking charge of Celtic against Rangers for the first time in his career. Obviously, Martin O'Neill went on to have a long and successful reign as Celtic manager, one of the best managers Celtic have probably seen. It was a fantastic game. Chris Sutton kicking it off very early with a goal inside the first minute. Chris Sutton actually got 2 in what was his first Old Firm as well. Larson got 2, Paul Lambert got 1, and it was just an absolutely magnificent game. It also labelled by many people the turning point for Scottish football. A lot of people saying it was the turning point of when Rangers stopped dominating domestically. As you know, from 2000, Celtic have been the more dominant team in Scotland over Rangers, but before then Rangers were always winning more, and it was truly the turning point according to most people. It was a very, very key game in Celtic's history, one of the greatest games in Celtic's history, and every Celtic fan remembers it. It was a fantastic match. If only I was, you know, of an age to appreciate it, but who cares? If it's of a 6-2 win against Rangers, it's got to be at the number 1 spot. You don't get many days like that. So that does it, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was something I just wanted to put together coming up for this Old Firm match on Sunday. Obviously, every Celtic and Rangers fan, well, maybe not so much the Rangers fans, will be excited for it, as Celtic can go, you know, potentially, what, 30 points clear or something like that. It is a massive game. Surely a win for Celtic, as I'm predicting. I'll have my predictions out for the match this coming week at some point, and I will have my match day vlog out on Sunday. So if you're looking forward to that, hit the like button for this as well, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I hope you did enjoy. If you're a Rangers fan, feel free to leave the abuse. I love having a wee chuckle through the comment section. So I thank you all for watching once again. From me, Ryan Mulvaney, I'll see you all next time.